Welcome back. New day, new car, and no clickbait this time. Well, not really clickbait like it was last time, but we do have another car. This one's not staying, but it's here for some help. Everybody welcome number 2. Yes. Another FD. This one isn't like messed up or anything. Just needs a little bit of help. It's some tuning stuff, some basic mechanical stuff. You just got the car rebuilt, or the motor rebuilt I should say, and everything is just so brand new. All we're gonna do today is get it set up. Oh, look at that. All we're gonna do today is get it set up so that he can drive it around comfortably, and he can enjoy it and get this break-in over with, so he can enjoy his car. Getting it off the trailer now so we can get it inside because it's 7,000 degrees outside and we can look it over. Car's inside. Now we're just going to look it over and see what condition it's in before we start messing with it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna touch up the map just a little bit so that it's drivable. But before we do that, we gotta make sure that everything is in good condition. Yes, it was just rebuilt, but you know, sometimes you gotta verify. We're gonna start with the inspection on this car to see what state it's in post-rebuild and pre-map, let's say, pre-mapping. Got the whole setup here, dual fans with the tray in the car and everything. Don't have too much time, so it's not gonna be a whole lot of talking and shenanigans, but a super time lapse of me taking this apart though. So enjoy the beats. Check it out. After doing the inspection on the FD, it was found that a lot of things need attention. Although this is a brand new rebuilt motor and everything was just gone over, the car basically has 0 miles on it post rebuild. And I went in here and I looked around and there's just way too much wrong that it honestly doesn't make any sense. What happened was he agreed to leave the car here, and I'm going to set it up so that it's proper non-sequential. So let me show you another thing that's kind of weird about it. Supposedly this car is already non-sequential, right? But as you can see, the blow-off valve port is plugged. The CRV is being used as a blow-off valve. The pre-control actuator is still installed. You might not be able to see it. Pre-control actuator is still installed, and the twin green solenoids are still installed. But it's non-sequential, right? For non-FD owners, that might not sound like anything to you right now, but just take my word for it that if somebody says your setup is non-sequential but you have all of that still, it might be non-sequential, but that's just a real half-assed way of doing it. Especially if you take it to a shop and have them do it and they give you this. Sorry, that's not how these things work. So I'm gonna get all that sorted out. I'm gonna delete the entire rat's nest. He's on a Power FC, so we can do that. The water lines for the throttle body are all going to be removed because that's unnecessary. But we're going to get this car all sorted out, and it's going to be much better. And I'm going to do all of that tonight so that it'll be ready for tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting. But let's get to work. Boy right there, the infamous rat's nest, removed in its entirety, and it leaves you with that nice clean top of the engine. It was dirty and stuff, so I went ahead and vacuumed it all out. With delete the wire harness does need attention, deleting all those solenoid plugs and whatnot that don't need to be there, but we'll tackle that at another date. So next step after this, now that that is removed, is to now redo everything. So that's just the first half of the job. Now for the non-sequential, I have to now get under the car and remove the pre-turbo solenoid, not solenoid, the pre-turbo actuator, whatever. It's the actuator that is part of the sequential system that keeps whatever flapper door in the manifold closed, and then it opens it when it needs to, or vice versa, or whatever. Anyway, it's not needed for the non-sequential. But yeah, I'm gonna keep chugging away at it. I don't know what time it is. I'm too scared to look. I started at midnight, just to put in perspective. But I'm just gonna blast through this. I'm like 30% of the way there, and yeah, we'll keep rocking. I had to show this. Goodness gracious, I had to show this. All right, so I'm at the step now where I needed to remove the butterfly plate from out of the Y pipe. Now, I'm gonna set the camera down, and I want you to see what happens when I do this. The entire compressor housing on this back side is loose. The C-clip that actually goes around it and holds it to the actual assembly is not seated at all. It's actually poking out. I don't know if I'll be able to show it on camera, but I'll try. One piece that's in focus is the compressor housing for the turbo. Watch. I'm gonna see if I can knock it back in with the flathead. If not, that is bad. That is very, very bad. With the compressor housing not attached like that, the compressor wheel could basically just destroy itself on the housing. And obviously that's not sealed. That's not producing boost at all. It's just bypassing the entire housing. All right, I got an even better way to show you. Check it out. This one's way easy to see. Ready? Look at that. All right, let's call this the halftime check-in. So everything is done. The vacuum lines are mostly routed. This is how you do the oil injectors. I put it so far up here on the block because in the rotaries, they run so hot, you always want to use metal T-fittings. Well, I don't have any, so I put a plastic one in here and I put it way over here. This will be fine. For the wire harness, all of the emission stuff for the solenoids and the ACV, I stuffed all back here. I bent the leg over and I zip tied it back so it's out of the way. This is the wire for his coolant level sensor, which is broken, and why his buzzer goes off, because his sensor is broken. There's no wire on it. For the throttle body waterline bypass, since I don't have any reliable silicone caps to cap this stuff off, what I did was I took the hose that would normally run to the throttle body and I just turned it and put it back to the water pump housing. I don't have any more of my nice clamps, my really nice stainless band clamps with the rolled edges. So unfortunately I have to use a perforated worm clamp here on this, which is fine. All of this stuff is going to be refixed again later, but just to get the job done now, which sounds bad, but yeah. So I actually checked the time. I didn't want to, but I checked the time. It's like 3:30 right now, a.m. in the morning. Sunday. Oh, 3:35, Sunday, June 30th. So I'm gonna finish this up. I'll probably be done around 5. So it was time to mount the coil pack. So what I did was I cut the mounts off of the whole rat's nest assembly, and I put them in here. And now the coil packs are going to rest right there, right in the factory position, as they should, but without all the extra crap. It still looks like a mess on camera, but believe it's a lot neater than it was. So everything under here is done. This is what it looks like as a finished product for full non-sequential, without opening up the harness, leaving the coil packs where they are, leaving the fuel hard lines, and not deleting this hose here because I don't have suitable plugs for that. So I just routed it back into itself. I still got to go into the car and remove the actuator there, the secondary actuator for the door. Next day, it got real late. I left around 5:30 last night, or this morning, and now I'm back to finish up this car. There's only a few things left. The list is real short. I wrote everything down.